Gohmert. He'll be with us for the full hour. Congressman, thanks for joining us. So I have a real problem with this illegal immigration stance that the Obama administration has really kind of gone around your house, gone around Congress, and decided who and who will not be prosecuted and sent back to the countries that they came from when we talk about illegal immigrants.
Well, he's rushing in to do Congress's job, which has already been done. We've already made it illegal to come in to the country without a proper visa. So he's doing that job, undoing what Congress has done, and refusing to enforce the Constitution and laws he took an oath to follow. It's not his job. His job is to enforce the law, not to ignore it and rewrite it unofficially. And you know, what really gets me, Eric, though, is the complete irony here. People have come from Mexico, for example, in order to find jobs. Why? Because we have followed the rule of law, and because capital goes to where it feels safest, where the law is the fairest. And then once here is saying, okay, ignore the law and allow us to stay and have jobs illegally, which means we'd be like the place they came from, where jobs quit being created. It doesn't make sense. It's ironic, and we need to get back to following the law.
So why this with this plan? I mean, there are those on the left that say, oh, this is great because this is Mr. Obama reaching out to the Latino community. But from my perspective, the Latino community who are here legally are saying, no, keep the illegal immigrants over there. Those are jobs that we want. And the rest of Americans, 14 million out of work.
Exactly. And my office helps, we've helped many Hispanics trying to make sure they follow the law and they get relatives here legally and do things properly. It is grossly unfair to them to say, never mind, you're better off if you just ignore the law. But what I'm afraid we may see, Eric, is before the next election, an all-out effort to get people eligible to vote in the next election, and the result would be they would most likely vote for the people that allowed them to ignore the law.
So you think that not only will they be allowed some sort of amnesty to stay, but maybe even somehow get a voting right as well?
Well, in some places it's easier to vote even without an identification. Of course, we know the Democrats in Congress in general and around in most states have fought having a legitimate photo ID, saying it's so grossly unfair. You can't do anything without a photo ID, except they want to be allowed to have people to vote without a proper identification. So it goes to reason. If there's a quid pro quo, it is we allow you to stay illegally and make sure you go down and vote. We've heard different people saying, leaders of the Democratic Party saying, make sure that you get down and vote. It isn't right. It isn't legal.
Explain this to me, because this is one of the things that came out during this whole little amnesty program that he's or whatever you want to call it, look the other way program. Yeah. That the people, the illegals who are serving in the military need to be able to stay. I don't necessarily disagree with that, but my question is, how do you get in the military if you're an illegal alien?
Well, there should be some recruiter that gets in trouble because they should follow the law and require proper identification. We should not have people illegally in the military. But, Eric, there is a means to legally come in and join the military, serve the military, and get a quicker road to citizenship. That already exists.
Sure.
There is no need to have people come in illegally.
Sure, and that, you know, what a fantastic way to allow illegal immigrants to become legal immigrants. Come on, you want to serve 2 years in the military? That'd be great. We'd appreciate it. It'd be very patriotic. I'm all in favor of expediting the immigration process if you're willing to do that. Sir, we're going to leave it there. We're going to keep you for the full hour. We're coming back to you in a couple of minutes. Okay. Meanwhile, but Congressman, what about that? We are embarking on the election season. We're in it. We're knee deep in it right now. The GOP's trying to figure out who's going to represent the right. Can Mr. Obama come up with something as dramatically liberal as restructuring tax codes in the way that they would like to, as taxing and spending through infrastructure and some of the other kind of very liberal ideas that he's had in the past?
Eric, The guy is 3 years late. 3 years ago, I proposed the tax holiday. It would have cost, you could have let everybody who was paying income tax just have a whole year's holiday, and it would have been $1.21 trillion. And that would have jump-started the economy. I proposed at least 2 or 3 months of complete tax holiday to the president in January of '09, and he waits 3 years now, 2.5 years, to come out and say, you know what, that idea back then was okay. It's too late. He squandered too much money. Wow. And now we've got government unions saying we need more government. We need more largesse for the bloated government.
No, Congressman,
the way to do it
Congressman, they're not saying that at all. Let's be clear. So I guess what you're saying, if you were president, the world would be a much better place. I doubt it. The fact of the matter is, Congressman, that the reason the president is waiting till September to put out a plan number one is because you guys are on vacation.
They're protesting job cuts. They're protesting having enough money to pay everybody. That is exactly what they're saying.
And
it is interesting. It is a conflict of interest with the other unions.
Congressman, hold on, Joy. Why did you don't take a shot at Congressman Gohmert?
No,
Tell me what Obama is saying. You said here's what he's saying. And you lob a grenade at Gohmert.
Well, no, two things. First of all, why wait till September? The Congress is on vacation, all right? The Congress is not there. Therefore, it's appropriate to propose a plan when Congress is in session.
This is
so
a man
work on it.
who decided to change immigration policy while Congress was on vacation.
We're not talking about immigration policy. We're talking the budget. We're talking about moving forward, something that you need legislative authority to do. And most respectively, to the congressman, what he's talking about, why do we always attack federal workers? When we talk about a bloated government, we talk about a welfare state, why don't we respect the people who make the government great? Why don't we respect the people who work hard for a government? You could shrink a government through enrichment and other appropriate programs.
The point is, if you look at the Department of Energy, what have they done? Their mission was to get us off foreign energy. They have failed worse and worse every year. The Department of Education, also another creation of Carter, has done a terrible job. It needs to be back to local control. Less federal government means more money for the economy, means the other unions can do well because the capitalist society will do better and everyone benefits. It's just that they will not be in all these big government jobs.
Why is he talking about Carter?
And by the way, we're in pro forma session, as I understand it. There are tons of jobs bills sitting at the Senate. When the president says we're a do-nothing Congress, for once, he's at least half right. The Senate is sitting there, and the dead-on-arrival Senate, we've got bills down there that will move the economy. Tell the Senate to move them.
Hang on, Congressman. Hang on. Let me get the table in here a little bit.
Well, let's go back to the main issue, which is jobs. We've been all over the map in this conversation. The reality is the president has been the president for 3 years over this economy. He has not proposed one meaningful thing, Joey, and you know this to be factual, that has created private sector job creation, that does not put an over-reliance on the federal government. And who pays for the federal government and all these great workers? Taxpayers.
But let's be clear.
Taxpayers have had enough, Joe, and this is why we have to have a conversation that does not just mollify the unions and placate the liberals on the left by growing government. We have to really think of how we put Americans back to work. And it's embarrassing that it takes 3 years for him to come up with
it takes 3 years for him to do it when the country's been in a mess for 8, 10 years. You're going to blame Obama for the last 3 years? That is outrageous. The fact of the matter is that the president is proposing priorities for this country. We were in a horrific place. He's bringing it back. If he doesn't wave a magic wand and bring it back tomorrow, then it's the end. Obama's doing nothing.
2.5 years in, Joey Jackson.
If we don't pass a stimulus bill, that we may go up to 8.5% unemployment.
Hang in there, sir. 2.5 years in, we have housing numbers that show a third of homes are underwater. Housing sales are down in the dumpster. Joey, there's nothing really working right now about
Corporations have money.
Going to have to leave it there.